Hello friends, welcome back. Hope you are doing well. So this is the another video on AWS Solution Architect Associate Series, and our today's topic is VPC peering. So last time in prior video we have the video on how we can set up VPC using public private infra. Using routing table, how can we communicate over the internet, and how can we provide an internet to private instance. So this kind of scenarios we have learned on the previous videos. So now the next topic is VPC peering. So we have seen how can we create the VPC, but if we talk about multiple VPC scenarios within a single account or outside of the external from different AWS account, how can we peering two VPC, or we can say how can we create a private communications between two VPC. So VPC peering is the one of the service, or we can say one of the key function on VPC, which is provided by Amazon to achieve this task. So let's begin with this. So as we learned in prior video that VPC is a virtual network dedicated to your AWS account, and it is logical isolated from other virtual network in the cloud, AWS cloud. You can launch AWS resources such as EC2 instance, RDS, or anything in Amazon VPC. Now, what is the usage of VPC peering? So, VPC peering connection is a networking connection between two VPCs that enable you to route the traffic between them using private IPv4 or IPv6 address. For example, in last segment we set up a VPC called TAC VPC with having the private IP range of 10.0.0.0/16 notation, and CIDR of subnet is around is all about 10.1.0.0/24. So now, for example, if you have multiple VPCs having multiple private IP address communicate, so how can we enable communications between two instances with having private IP address? So VPC is used to communicate between two. VPC peering is used to create a communication between two VPCs. You can create a VPC peering connection between your own VPC or with VPC in another AWS account. The VPC can be in a different region, also known as inter-region VPC peering connection. So how it works? For example, let's talk about VPC A. VPC A having multiple subnets. VPC B, it's having own subnets like public, private, and private with internet, as we learned last time. So how these two VPC being communicate? So this can be achieved through VPC peering. So let me just open one more diagram on for our practical scenario. So here we do have two VPCs. One is TAC VPC, second one is support VPC. I use 10.0.0.0/16 for TAC VPC and support for 10.20.0.0.16. Also, I have created two instances on each with public IP address, and by using the public, so I can easily communicate over the public IP address. So instance 1, and it having the 10.0.1.0x/24 IP, and it having 20. So by far there is no communications between instance 1 and instance 2 using private IP address. I'm talking about private. Public, if you have allowed the ICMP, if you allow the port number, you can communicate from external communication, or we can say the internet connectivity. But here we are talking about the private IP address communication. So let's open the VPC console. So as far as I on diagram, I have created two support VPC and tech VPC. Tech VPC has having the 10.0.0/16 IPv4 and support VPC is having 20. Here you can see the DHCP set option set, main route table and main ACLs. So these are the VPC options. Also I created two subnets like public subnet support and public subnet tech VPC. So on both subnet I provide 20.1.0 and 10.0.1.0. Now we talk about the route table. For external communication, I have create two internet gateway and attach it to each VPC, like tech VPC route. If this instance want to communicate over the external, I have allowed 0.00 using this internet gateway, and same as support VPC 0.0/ this one. So I have create two internet gateway for each VPC, tech VPC and support VPC. So now I have also taken this SSH access of the both the machine. Here you can see it's a 10.0.1.0. That means our tech VPC, and the second one is a 20.0.1.139. That means our support VPC. So let me try to communicate over the private IP address. Let me took IP address of IC. Also in security group I have allow ICMP port number for being ping communication for all the IP address. ICMP and for 000 like this. So anyone can ping the instance. So this is my private 10.1 and this is my 10.20.x series. Let me ping. There is no response, and I'm just also take a private IP of support instance details and just copy it. So here's some both having some destination hold unreachable and some no response from that. So now let me navigate to VPC console and I'm just going to create VPC peering connection. So let me create a new VPC. Let me create like tech VPC and to let's say support. Requester is a guy who just requests out a request for the peering. Let me select tech VPC and within my account, as we shown earlier, the destination you can, if you select the another account, you need to provide account ID and the this region and the VPC ID. So already I have set up two VPC in my own account. So I use my account and I'm using this support VPC. So tech VPC to support VPC, and let me create the connections. So I have connection created. Now need to accept the request. So VPC I have now navigate to peering connections. This connection has been created and activated. Now let me validate if the connection still is having from destination on host unreachable, and this one is also having the same. Now what we need to define, we need to define a route in route table. Let me first navigate to tech VPC, routes, edit, destination would be 20.0.0.0/16. It is a VPC IP address, not say IP address, but the network of the VPC. And I am going to use peering connection. Save. Same method I am going to use on support root. Let me use 10./16 and peering connection. Here you can see the communication has been started. So using VPC peering, I can communicate from the IP address of private IP address of one instance to another instance from the another VPC. So if you have certain infrastructure where you need to set up a private communication, if you need to establish a private communication between two VPC, you need to set up a peering and you need to set up such a route table accordingly. Let me navigate to route table and just delete this and save. Let me validate what happening. So connection has been broken. So this is the way to just validate the routes. Sorry, under support routes 10.0.0.0/16 and I am adding the peering connections. See, the communication has been started again. So this is the way to set up a comparing between two private subnets and two different private infrastructure. Hope you find the detailed information from this video. So kindly share your feedback on the videos on comment section. Thank you very much. The next topic will release soon on next topic of AWS Solution Architect Associate. Thank you very much.